Today, we have a lot to talk about. Getaround is announcing that they are shutting down not only HyreCar, but their own US operations. Holy moly, is that an earthquake in this industry? You're gonna wanna watch this whole video. I've got a lot to say about all this, and I'm gonna tell you everything that I know of what's going on right now. Before I get into that, click below, grab the 5 things you must do before starting a car rental business. You can now book a free 15-minute call with me just to get you going and started off on the right foot in this business. Or, as many of you need right now, you're going to need to transition in a different way. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of what is going on here with Getaround and HyreCar. So I first heard about this probably about 4 days ago. I put out a short about this, that HyreCar's insurance had been shut down. Basically what I heard is that the insurance carrier for HyreCar got a report back that showed how many claims that were on HyreCar, and they shut down the insurance coverage immediately. I mean, if I saw that report, I would probably do the same. God knows how many claims are on HyreCar. That said, I talked to HyreCar and I had heard from them that they were finding a new insurance carrier immediately and that they would be back online within 1 to 2 weeks. I held off on reporting this because I just wanted to give it a little time to see what was going to happen. Boy, am I glad I did. Just last night, we get the news that Getaround is shutting down operations not only for themselves, but for HyreCar as well, all throughout North America. They are keeping their European operation going, which has done much better than North America. This is big news in this industry and has a lot of implications. And full disclosure, I've tried to get a hold of Getaround to see what's going on with them from their end. All I'm hearing right now is that the cars have to be brought back immediately. So let me give you some initial thoughts that I have about all of this. So first of all, I knew HyreCar was going away this year. I've talked about that some on this channel. From what I had heard from Getaround, it wasn't happening until later in 2025. So this is obviously a little sooner than we thought this would happen. To me, what the biggest surprise is Getaround shutting down US operations. What's so bizarre about this to me is that they've been working on a variety of different initiatives. They've got the new profit splits coming out, 70-30, 80-20. They've been planning to expand their drive with Uber markets. All signs have been pointing that they are growing and we're poised for a good year. In addition to that, not only 11 months ago, Mudrick Capital just dumped $50 million into their business. So this is kind of perplexing. Overall, I think they just saw the numbers, they saw the way things were trending, and they just decided to pull the plug. So let's talk about some implications this has for the industry and for us as hosts. So for those of us using Getaround, we're gonna have to now move our cars to Turo in the near term, and in the long term, we're gonna have to do private rental agreements because, as we know, Turo has been increasingly more difficult to use, and a few more thoughts on that. I started in this business in private rentals. It always has been the most lucrative form of rentals. We're gonna have to get back to the basics in this business and do things privately. Unfortunately, this industry is showing that we really just cannot rely on third-party vendors like Turo, Getaround, HyreCar, or Uber Car Share. 3 of 4 who are gone now. That said, when you do private rentals, you really have to respect this form of agreement. It is the most complex form of rentals. The nice thing about having a third-party vendor when you rent cars is that they are the bouncer. When someone doesn't pay in a private rental agreement, you become the bouncer. At this point, Turo is going to push off any hosts that they don't like on their platform and do basically whatever they want, given that they have a monopoly in this industry right now. Many of you have asked me about the Connect systems. From what I can tell right now, what I've seen so far, all cars have to come back that are on Getaround trips immediately, as in like now, today, and they are planning to do a mass uninstall of Connect systems from what I have been told so far. I know some of you have asked if you can continue to pay the subscriptions for the Connect systems. I don't think that's going to be an option. I would recommend moving your cars to One Step GPS. They have a solid GPS system. Another thing to consider is that there is going to be a massive displacement of rideshare renters. They have nowhere to go now, and so we're all going to have to find them and put them onto private rental agreements. One place I would start is Uber Fleet. That is an option that you can use to find private renters. Overall, it's interesting to me that Turo has figured out this game, yet nobody else can figure it out. I'm also curious to see what happens this summer when Tesla starts rolling out their robo-taxis and how that will affect this industry. Overall, my recommendation to any host in this business right now is you're gonna have to learn private rental agreements. There's no way around it at this point. All that to say, drop some comments below. I know you guys have a lot to say about this. Before I go, click below, grab the 5 things you must do before starting a car rental business. I will catch you in the next episode. Thank you.